Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another podcast. Yeah, that's what this is. Another episode of 10 unedited minutes with Marlena. It is Saturday morning, June 6th. I don't know about you, but I feel like it's a different day of the week. I don't know what day it feels like. Sunday, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, before we get into it, today's episode is brought to you by a very dear friend of mine who has agreed to sponsor this podcast for 2 months, and they don't want to be recognized. So thank you. I think of you every single morning we come on this microphone, and yeah. So if you want to sponsor this episode or this podcast, see, I'm getting my words mixed up. If you want to sponsor this podcast, you can do so. It's just a minimal investment of $25 per month, and that gets you a mention before and after each episode, and I will add your business name to any social media promotions that I do with this podcast. And I do have some exciting news. I did get another sponsor. I don't want to give it away yet because I have some fun things planned with this one. So in about 3 weeks, we will, excuse me, we will start mentioning this person, this company. I don't want to give it away. So I'm excited about it. All right, let's get into it. What are we going to talk about today? So I said a little prayer right before I hit record, and because I didn't know what I was going to talk about, and I said, "All right, God, give me a topic. Give me something to talk about." Uh-oh, I pushed a button on my microphone. Are we still working? Yes. Are we? Testing. Yep. I still hear myself. Anyway, so he brought this little 30-second video to mind that I watched on Facebook this morning. And for those of you, I'm sure you've heard of this person, Jelly Roll. He is a amazing country singer who literally came from the depths of prison, and brought him, I don't know what to say, he brought himself back, and now he's just rocking it in this world. And I can tell, you can always tell when somebody's genuine, right? A lot of times you have these mega stars, and that's what Jelly Roll is. But you have these mega stars who talk the talk but don't walk the walk. But Jelly Roll is so different. That man talks and walks all of it. He started out, he was in prison. I feel like he wrote his first song while in prison. I don't know a lot of his backstory. I just know what I hear from him. And he was on the Joe Rogan podcast a while ago, and I listened to the whole thing. And Jelly Roll is one of those people where you could literally just sit and listen to him talk all day. He's so confident in what he says, but he truly serves God. Truly. Everything in his life he does to serve God. And he's not quiet about it either, which I think is even more amazing. I saw a video of him a while ago singing and playing at the country, is it the country music hall? Grand Ole Opry. I'm losing my words this morning. He was singing and playing at the Grand Ole Opry, and he cried the entire time he was up on that stage because he said, "This has been a dream of mine." He said, "I spent my last dollar one day just to come to this Opry and play, or not play, but just watch." And he said, "And now I'm up here on this stage." Well, this video that I saw today was very similar. He was at the CMA Awards, and he was the surprise singer for CMA. And he was up on that stage, and he was just crying again. And he told the story about how back when he was a teenager, he said on the other side of that fence, and he pointed over somewhere, he said there is the juvenile detention center for whatever that county was he was at, for Tennessee. And he said he was serving a 3-year sentence in that juvenile detention center, and he would hear the CMA Awards being played, and he would listen to them through his cell window. And he said it was my dream just to go to the CMAs and listen. And he said, and look at this, I'm up here on this stage. He said, God is a God of mercy. He is a God of abundance. And if you put your mind to it, you can do the same thing. He said, he talked about the generational curse, and I see it. We all see it, right? In people who are struggling, and you see where their grandma, grandpa struggled, they struggle, and then their kids struggle. But then you get one person in that family who says, fuck this, I'm not living this life. I'm not doing it. And they set out to change, and they figure it out. And you know what? Sometimes figuring it out doesn't mean making $1 million. It just means trying. If you try and you believe in the Lord and you pray, it's those 3 things that will get you to break that generational curse. That's it. So, man, that got really deep, and we're only 6 minutes in. But anyway, the other thing that I think is really cool about Jelly Roll is, and I don't care about looks, obviously, look at me today, like I have no makeup on, my hair's not done. I literally rolled out of bed and sat down, fed the dog, and I sat down. But anyway, Jelly Roll, when he came out of prison, that man was over 300 pounds. He's a big dude. And he decided he wanted to get healthy because it wasn't about looks for him either. It was about health. And when he was on that Joe Rogan podcast that I mentioned earlier, he talked a lot about his weight loss journey. And what essentially started it was he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, if you don't make a change, you're not going to live to see another 10 years. And that woke him up. And he said on Joe Rogan that he has done this entire weight loss journey all natural, because they talked about the GLP-1s, and those do really help. I'm on Ozempic, which, I need to go to the pharmacy today. Anyway, he said, I don't want to do that. He said, because I don't feel like there's enough research, to what those do to your body. And he said, and I wanted to do this on my own. So he hired a nutrition coach and set out to lose weight, and he did. And on that video today, holy moly, that man is probably 175, and he looks good. Like, he's toned up and he looks good. And I think it took, in terms of his appearance, he looks a lot younger. And you notice that too. When you lose a bunch of weight, I think it makes you look younger. But I just really like that guy. I think what he's doing in this world is positivity. On Joe Rogan, he talked about how he is on parole. And because, actually, it's not because he's on parole, it's because he's a felon. He cannot own a firearm. And he discovered hunting. And he has a buddy who turned him on to the bow and arrow, using the bow and arrow to hunt. But he said, that sport has got me so intrigued that I want to hunt. I want to fully hunt. So, okay, so he didn't sit back and just say, well, I can't own a gun, so I'm not gonna hunt. No, that man goes to his local politicians and government, and he's trying to change the law so felons can at least own a hunting rifle. And not just any felon. He's like, no, I get it. He said, I get it. You can't just hand these over to anybody. But he said, if somebody like him truly has turned their life around, truly is doing amazing, then he said, I don't see any reason why they cannot own, one of these devices. So he's petitioning to change that, and I haven't checked in on that lately to see how he's doing. But again, he's a very motivated man, and if he wants something done, he's going to do whatever he can in the most positive way to make it happen. And he doesn't just make it happen for him. He thinks about other people, and he wants to change the lives of other people. And he's a perfect example of, what rehabilitation can do for you, and that people do change. And that's why God gives us the power of forgiveness. And we should take advantage of that power of forgiveness and look at everybody as if they have changed. And if they have truly proven to you that they have changed, then they've changed. So anyway, that's enough about me. Way to go, Jelly Roll. Doubt that you'll hear this, but I'm a fan of more than just your music. I'm a fan of what you're doing in this world. So keep it up, buddy. And you guys, thank you for listening. And I love you. What are we doing today? I have a graduation party later. It looks like it's getting really dark out there again, like nighttime dark. And it's 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's probably going to storm. I'd like to show my garage some love today and get some stuff put away out there and rearranged out there, and clean it up a little bit. But I don't know if that's going to happen with this weather. I have to see which direction that rain's going, if I can open the garage door or not. But anyway, enough. I love you. Pray for me. I will pray for you. Enjoy your day. Remember, tomorrow's Sunday. I will not be on here. I take Sundays off from recording, and we'll be back on Monday. You guys have the best weekend. Bye.